Okay, Boydo, I have a video for you. I got so excited about this one. This is not new. This is old. This is back from 2003. It was shot in Italy, and it went through a whole bunch of different analysis and the MUFON and all this other kind of stuff. In fact, I was so excited about it. You could see the 3D model that I built, and then I went and 3D printed it, right? Just so I could have my own little model of it. So let me just play the video, and we'll get started with it. And I'll talk through because I muted it. So released at an international MUFON symposium. It went through some analysis, and they believe it's real, which is, I was really biting into. And the believability of this entire story is there too. It's shot in a dry riverbed that, it looks like when it rains, the water comes out of the mountains and it just kind of washes through. So it's like a water wash. And it's out in the middle of nowhere. The behavior is interesting. There are, it matches some of the things that we've been hearing, that they get unstable when they hover. And it looks like they have some doodads that come in and go out, that, these pieces right here go in and go out to help with stability at their at the hover point, right? So I went so far as to find where the location was, and actually it was sent to me by a friend on X, and this is extremely believable. I mean, you're able to see these stones in the video. You can see this tower right here in the video. So we know this is absolutely the location where this was shot. And what makes this even adds more to the credibility is because of the location, right? If we look at where this is, and back in 2003, there would be even less around, right? I'm sure all these homes probably weren't here in 2003. I don't know when they were built, but probably a little bit more modern. But yeah, I mean, where else would you do something like this than out in the farmlands, where it would come in through the mountains, come down along this dry lake bed, and then fly off into the distance? There's even a car in the video that you can see. It's like there's like a security car that's sitting right there. I don't know if it'll resolve, but there's, like, you can see the two tires. It's just really blurry because it's got some distance to it, and it never really the camera doesn't settle down to really resolve it. But what a great video, right? It matches a number of different things characteristics that we're seeing on these objects, right? Especially the disc-shaped ones. But that's where the happiness ends for me, because I really, really wanted this to be true. And I'm not going to say it's not, but I'm going to show you the things that I'm looking at, and you can make your own decision. First off, all right, let's look at color. Let's look at color space. When we back out a little bit, I'm seeing a little bit more contrast. There's almost too much contrast here versus the rest of the landscape. And when you go to the bridge, right, you can see nothing really gets to the levels of blacks that this does. In fact, I even copied the craft, a snapshot of the craft, so I can overlay it with the bottom of the bridge. And you can see the blacks here are blacker than what would be under here, right? This should be pretty dark. Now, you could say that you're seeing a lot of reflection from the lake bed coming up, right? Which should be happening, right? And that's one of the things I'm looking at. That should be happening to all objects that are over this lake or this riverbed. And if we go back to here, when this is flying over the riverbed, right? I mean, maybe you could say it's over the trees, but the amount of light that's going to be coming off of this riverbed should be filling in the bottom here. Okay? It shouldn't be this dark. It just shouldn't be. There's too much of a light source below it. And we have that. And then you get into what really made me disappointed. Okay, so I I pushed the system as hard as I could to get the most stable portion of the highest detail part of where it was flying. And I'm going to play it for you, and you can see what's going on. Watch the movement of the craft versus everything else. So the stabilization is locked very tightly into the landscape. It's not parallax. It's not a parallax effect because the landscape or the mountain that's behind this tower is not moving in relation to the tower. So that's telling me that this camera is not moving that much up and down, left and right to create that. It's this disappointed me to my core because I wanted this to be so real, and I'm not going to say it. You can decide on your own. But let's just say I am extremely disappointed in this one because it was from 2003, right? So special effects should be, expensive. But there's ways to do this that you don't need special effects. You can do frame by frame, actually adding an object in there. There's ways to do this. I've done that back in 1999 with a few of my friends where I've created some videos. And it's not impossible for even just somebody, because you could just go frame by frame. So, man, I'm just really royally disappointed in this one. So, yes, let's talk about this. If there is a explanation for the behavior of the craft in its motion above the landscape here, I want to hear it because I want this to be real. So if we can crowdsource a solution to why it's bouncing around like that, let's talk about that, and let's throw it on the table, and let's investigate those theories to see if we can either confirm or toss them out. But yeah, this is where I am with this one. So again, please let me know if you can think of a reason why this would be bouncing around like that, and then we can take it to the next step. Thanks.